commitment level or something like that. 20% goes in the next sprint, and that fills in the next sprint, and then that work fills in the next sprint. So it's kind of like a little spillover. However, this is about different topics related to a topic earlier about, how do you start the sprint with a 0 tasks, right? How hard that is. And it is hard, right? We know, so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk a little bit about business as usual qualification, because I was kind of reflecting on the stuff I have been doing lately, doing this business and promoting this a little bit, doing a little groundwork. I haven't really advertised it yet because those are big things. I want to make sure that everything's ready before I start spending money and but I don't mind. I mean, I get being a Scrum Master or Agile coach, the pay's pretty good. I mean, it's a great gig. Get to see people build stuff and have some fun. Well, you try to help them have fun. Some places it's very mechanical, you know. Yesterday I showed you my pretzels. So down the street, benefits of 5amMesterScrum, get stuff organized, do it. I didn't start this till like 6:05 or something like that. But no, actually even later than that, probably about 6:08, which is kind of weak on my part. Just kind of looking at some stuff. A lot of stuff going on last night. But I brought in pretzels to my team. That's a nice thing. Went down the street to a local bakery. Cheap. I love it. It's an old-fashioned bakery. Just makes pretzels. That's all they do every morning. They're up there at 5 a.m. in the morning just making pretzels, right? Because it's cooler at night than it is during the day. People don't understand why are the bakeries so open? Because there's a hot oven. And that's your core time to work. So brought them to them for doing a great job with the PI, and they use it to help promote some software communication tools in the organization. I tweet out on like Matter, where we're putting in Mattermost, right? They used to do Slack. I always made a Goodies channel on the Slack communication just to make it fun, right? Like, what are we having? The potlucks, we'd have food, recipes, healthy recipes, So these are the kind of things an Agile coach or Scrum Master does that are in the book, right? This stuff ain't in the book. Some places I've heard, one guy said his company, he would bring a bowl of fruit. Now, I got like 400 people in the group. I don't think I'm going to buy enough fruit myself to feed 400 people. He had a small crew building some code, building some stuff, and they would just put fresh fruit, go to one of the big mega stores and buy some fresh fruit and put that in there. And the magical door opens up in the background. That's the cat opening the door. That's what they do. I think it's hard. Sometimes they're on the show. Depends what's going on. But anyway, so that's good. That's what we do as Agile coaches. Have some little fun and enjoy. Some people are like, it's all work, work, work. And I'm like, nah, it's not. It shouldn't be. Your people are going to leave your company. But you got to have some fun. And we as Agile coaches want to spur that fun and that working together attitude. So with that and things, so let's talk about the clean board. Started with 0 tasks, and how do you get there? Well, first off, is you complete the board that you have as much as possible. And what you don't do in the last couple of days of a sprint, well, if you have a 1-week sprint, it's like the last day. If you have a 2-week sprint, it's the last couple of days of the sprint, okay, and so on and so forth. Is you don't bring in new work, because you're only getting it partially done. It's not going to get there, so don't do it. What I recommend, because I was looking at a team the other day, they were talking about they were at 90% capacity, which is good, because stuff comes in and I know they're not tracking everything. So I'm like, okay, you're in a good spot, because I know there's stuff coming in, the estimates aren't there, and you're still working on that. And what I had suggested, and what I would suggest to you all, is that we're doing a new thing. We're doing a thing, came up with, is Kaizen. I mean, it's not a new concept, right? Kaizen is making little incremental improvements all the way up down the chain. Came from the old car manufacturers. And what we're saying is that, and this way you can track it in the system, do Kaizen stories, stuff from your retrospective. Now, I'm hoping everybody's taking a retrospective idea and make it in the story and working it throughout the sprint. preferably at the beginning of the sprint so you can present at the end of the sprint. There might be other things that aren't on that first one where you pick one thing, you put it in your stories, and you do it. There's probably a bunch of other little things. Those bunch of other little things is what you do at the end of the sprint. So rather than taking on more stories and doing more work, you should be getting better at your craft, right? Whether it be watching videos, doing some studies, learning how to new code, refactoring code, refactoring code's a good thing. Stuff that may not need testers to test, right? Because you really want to take that off the tester. So the last couple of days, don't build stuff that you need to test or drop or anything like that. Do stuff to make your code better, right? Do stuff to make you better as a developer, tester, Scrum Master, whatever. A team, maybe decide, you know what? Rather than taking on another story, I'm going to bring some food. I'm going to experiment at home. I'm going to bring something new. I'm going to go to something. I'm going to bring it into the team. That is a better use of that time than it is to start a new thing, because you're going to get rushed. You're going to mess it up. You're going to try squeezing in. You're better off relaxing, getting that incremental improvement. So that comes the next sprint. You don't just have 2 days or 1 day. Maybe you'll have 3 days to take on new stories because you spent a little bit, because you only had a day. What are you going to do in a day? Nothing. You're not going to get it done. It's not going to get out. So why bother starting a story? Why don't you take something fun that stretches the brain and do that on the last day? Don't start a new story. That's how you get to 0 tasks in the next sprint. Now, and in fact, not even get 0 tasks, you start fresh, clean, everything's good. You're improving the process a little bit more so you can take on more stories the next sprint and have more than just 1 little day to do more work. You want to get it where you have 2 more days, 3 more days to get more work, right? So my advice is don't encourage them to take new work. One, they should go help a buddy, the coworker, Jill or Jane or Bobby or Suey or Greg or who, help me out, whatever. Make sure they got help with their code that's in place. Finish the work that they wanted to get done. Do some code reviews. Hey, I'm done early. Anybody need any code reviews done? Anybody need me to write some unit tests? Do I need to do any testing? Can I run some manual testing? Do we need to check something? Can I help you? So those are the questions you ask for. And I'll do a show of what questions to ask before you take on new work. Actually, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll write that down in my book for tomorrow. It's Friday, right? Because Friday is usually a good day where you close up the sprint. So I'll write in my book. We talked about having a little book. I have my little book, and I'm going to write in there what to do when you're done your tasks. What to do when done. Now, this is the question. When your teams get good and they start getting their stuff done, they're going to come to you and ask, I did all my work. What do I do next, right? So I'm telling you, this is what happens when you have teams that really progress and do well. And they start getting more stuff done. You're like, oh, shoot, they're getting too efficient. I got to keep up with this. What do I do next? I don't know, right? So I'll write in for tomorrow's Friday, right? Happy Friday. And also let them know, don't forget to tell them in the Daily Scrum. Think about what you're going to have fun over the weekend. Start thinking about that. And then what are you going to share with us next week? Anyway, so that's how you keep it at 0. The other thing I want to talk about is business as usual. BAU, right? I heard that called BAU. Is a terminology, business as usual. And every company, business as usual is different. Me, the little thing we're doing here, and I'm trying to expand and do some business myself. Got a lot of things like I talked about, the 501(c), and this is 5am Mester Scrum Show 66. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Share. We're growing every day. So we're growing a little bit, right? So my business as usual, a little different. My business as usual, and I got cats running downstairs chasing each other, is to slowly but surely reach out to Scrum Masters and Agile folks and people interested in Agile and share the show with them and also connect. I'm personally email and message every one of my connections on LinkedIn. It's not a machine, it's me. So when I'm sitting there at the karate thing, my business as usual, spend some time just checking messages, touching in with people I haven't touched with in a while on LinkedIn and some of my message boards, follow with what's going on. But the business as usual. So some people think you don't write that down in your sprint backlog. I'm a believer you do write that down. I think you should put a story in your sprint or a couple stories, small little stories, that talks about business as usual that takes up a certain amount of capacity. I think you should quantify that. I think you should track it. I think it'll come handy with you long term if you understand metrics and how to report out to management. This is what we do all day. Like when I'm home or when I'm doing my stuff, my business as usual is I maintain the systems. Um, Maybe it's a 1 point story, right? And in there, you know, check the servers, check the environment, make sure that things are running good, because you know what? You'll find things that may have not been good and you need to put them in the next sprint. So there's a benefit of tracking this, and it also makes you do it because there's a couple things I haven't done in a while. I haven't sent out messages in a while, touching base with, because I've been doing other things, trying to get some vision stuff done. So my business as usual work has gone down a little bit, but you know what? It's biting me in the back. So because I didn't have it in my schedule of, oh yeah, by the way, this is one of the things I want to do, and in my sprint goals for the week, right? I didn't have business as usual, do so much of this, do so much, and I have little goals of what I wanted to do. And it's important to have that. It's also important to practice it, because the longer you don't do it, the harder it is to do it again, right? It's like working out, going to the gym. My kid's doing push-ups, pull-ups. I'm trying to do that too. He wants me to do mountain climbing with him, and I'm not ready to do mountain climbing. I gotta get in shape. So I have a little goal on that, to get in shape every day. So my business as usual becomes more regular, and it's not as hard to do. So while you're in there coding business as usual, maybe your business as usual is doing some code refactoring. That, you know, or you have a giant backlog that's huge of automated tests that you want to automate it. Some old regression tests you're still doing manual. You know, that can be part of your business as usual. Actually, that's an awesome idea for a lot of these teams. You should put a point in there for business as usual where you're just automating some code. It's not new brain stuff. Like, it's not a real, I mean, this is Kaizen stuff, but it's not like a new dev thing or new capability where you have to research it, do some analysis. It's just like, hey, I'm going to pick 1 or 2 test cases a week that are older ones that we still manually do, and I'm just going to automate it, right? And that's the business as usual stuff in the dev world. So that I would recommend is that, and then if you have that, and it ties into the first one. So if you have a couple of days left and you have the business, oh, you know what? I haven't really worked this story, my business as usual story, and in there I want to do a couple unit tests. I want to automate a unit test, you know, refactor some lines of code that I've been wanting, and I had that on my sprint plan. Then you do that on the last day. You take it easy and just improve that process. Well, anyway, I'm gonna let it go because we've been doing this for a while. Um, Not quite at the 15-minute mark, which is good. So we're gonna be under. So I'm gonna give your time back. So this is 5am Mester Scrum. Happy scrumming. You know, enjoy your day. It's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. You know, get the team thinking about what fun things you do. Have a little fun at work. Like I said, I brought my pretzels in to everybody for doing such a great job with their PIs, and have some fun. With that, please like and subscribe. Do a little thumbs up, like thumbs up, thumbs up. It's kind of hard with the glare. And have fun. And you all take care and happy scrumming. Bye.